Hey everybody, welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. It is Thursday, the 9th of November, and we had a wild ride today in the markets. It was a pretty good one. Hope everybody had a great day with some of the movements that we had, both down and then back up. So for those of you that are new to the channel, we do the same thing every day. We try to review the same 8 to 12 futures markets, looking for opportunities in those markets and where we may see things turn around. So let's go ahead and dive into it. And get rolling. So the first is the S&P. Now I will tell you the S&P in the middle of the day today, I had posted a little level here on a small time frame as an opportunity. So if you didn't catch that, go to my Twitter feed. It's just twitter.com. It's at Chuck_Fulkerson. I posted this little level earlier today. So I like to draw the lines while I'm in the recording so that you can see what I'm looking at. But if I find something during the day, I'm going to put it up here. So this one could be a decent little small time frame level. I don't really love it here as the market just closed for the day. I don't really like it at the end of the day. I'm not a big end of the day guy, so I'm not going to actually place this thing simply because I don't really like to trade these things at the end of the day when the markets are pretty much kaput. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'll leave the lines in here and I'll leave it up and I'll see. Ideally, we'll just chop around for a little while, and if we get up there in the overnight session, then that's one thing. But right at the end of the day, I've just had terrible results in my life trying to trade right after 4 o'clock or right in that wheelhouse. So that's why I'm leaving it be at the moment for my own personal life. So let's talk about the Nasdaq. So this Nasdaq level, this level we've had up here for a number of days. We had talked about this level where we were waiting for price to return. Didn't look like it was going to get there anytime soon. If you recall, and I posted yesterday's video a bit late. I apologize. I posted it today. We talked about this as a short time frame confirmation entry, and it did meet entry as price came out of here just a little bit, but it was not a very strong mover. It eventually wound up failing. So this one is no longer with us. Hopefully you were able to catch some of that, maybe move your stop to break even. But our level down below definitely did get the reversal. And when I look for a reversal level, I do like those areas that are a little bit of fair price above a pivot low or fair price below a pivot high. So, what I would look at now is maybe this area right up in here, which is where we broke down from earlier today. So keep an eye on that area going forward. Now, once again, we're looking here at a small time frame. So the smaller the time frame, the lower the probability of success. But I will be looking at this one today. I'd rather see it hit in the overnight hours. Not too confident on shorting, especially with the market's as high as they are, but this is a really small level with a very tiny amount of risk associated with it. So hopefully you're able to catch some of that, a little bit of that move in the Nasdaq, grabbing that bottom and riding it back up. I did not catch any of the move down, I will tell you, because I'm not shorting this market at these all-time highs. Just refuse to do it. Crude oil. So crude oil today, there is a little bit of a level, and you've got to really go down to a small time frame to kind of pick off this area, this resistance area up here if you want to. I'm not going to leave those lines on the chart. I was actually speaking to a good friend of mine earlier today about that level as one that he's looking at for a fairly small time frame entry. Could be okay. Could give you an entry. Oops, I try not to go down to that small of a time frame here in the daily market commentary. I want to stay a little bit bigger and a little higher level. And, crude oil, after we've had a couple of pretty big moves out of the breakout, hasn't really done anything now for the whole week. We started the week here, and now we're here. We had that one spike up, and then that little bit of a false breakout down. But other than that, we've done a whole lot of nothing in crude oil. Gold, still have a level in gold, which we've been waiting on, and I will continue to wait on that level there in gold. Gold's another one that's had a number of ups and downs that is not really giving me a good, solid entry point. I'm not going to force the entry point to because I haven't gotten any trades, I'm not going to go and force the entry point to try to just get my opportunity. It's just not there. I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to force it. Even when I go down to a 15-minute chart, there's nothing that tickles the proverbial fancy, if you will. Nothing that's gonna have me get in on an entry. So looking at next, let's go to our bond markets. So bond markets still holding underneath our breakout level. Just above here, we still have a level down here for a potential entry. Other than that, not a whole lot has shown up today in the bond markets. In the Aussie, we do have a little level that we're coming up to in the Aussie, where we've got a little bit of fair price underneath a pivot high. That fair price area was set up kind of early morning, so that could be an entry on that if you're willing to take the risk. I'm going to pull that one off at the moment because you've got to be willing to take that particular risk. It's definitely a small time frame entry. What I don't like about it is the fact that we got near it and we just kind of started doing a whole bunch of nothing. So I'm going to remove that one at the moment. Still have this area up here that I'm looking at. I'm also looking at this level down here for now a breakout to the downside and trading really those breakouts. And I'm going to do a breakout lesson this evening at 9 o'clock Eastern on YouTube Live and Twitter Live. So if you get a chance to catch that, I'll try to do that this evening. A couple of you have been looking forward to that session. In the Euro, still got a level up here in the Euro that I am patiently waiting on. And I got to tell you, patience is a virtue because it's killing me. Can't seem to quite get to that level, but I don't want to force it. Canadian dollar. This one, there was a really nice retracement today. Earlier this week down to here, and it has just rallied up since that point. We definitely have a nice upward trend, but I think we're near the top of a trend channel. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a pullback to give us a decent entry possibility, and that entry possibility would show up on a smaller time frame. And if we get a decent pullback, there could be an entry right in this range. And the reason I'm taking this range here is because it acted as a ceiling all through here, and a pullback to that range, if we get it right in here, would be right on our rising trend line. So that rising trend line converging with a high quality level, I think makes the most sense. Last set would be our nat gas level. So the breakout on nat gas hasn't failed us. It is still moving, although moving very slow. I'll call it glacially slow. So we definitely got our breakout in nat gas, but we've not really been able to do much with it. So I don't know if any of you are still holding that nat gas position, but that one has not hurt us yet. Great British Pound. So this one we definitely have the breakout line in place. So when that thing does break out above here, that's really our entry into the British pound on a breakout. The Japanese yen, yesterday we talked about this one meeting entry here and riding it down and catching that reversal, which was a pretty nice trade. If anybody was able to catch that one, excellent. Now today we came back into it, noticed that we were able to fail. Now the fact that we touched it once, touched it again, came down, and now I think that this could serve in the future and act a little bit as a potential buying area. So remember this kind of price point here as a potential buying area. I do like the little bit of a pullback we're getting now. If I go to say a 15-minute chart, I like and I'm not huge on Fibonacci's, but I definitely still talk a bit about where they are and what we could look at. And I like that right now we're sitting at about a 38.2 retracement on that fib. So what I look for, though, is a 38.2 retracement combined with a quality area where there was some fair price in the past and a little bit of basing and equilibrium. And right now, I don't really have that. So I'm going to leave this go for the moment, although I think that it could continue to rally from this point. Copper, another one that we talked about catching the breakdown earlier this week. So the breakdown worked out very, very well. And now we're just getting rallies up and smaller time frame moves back down. So I think that we could see a rollover in copper and copper falling, in the overnight hours and then early into tomorrow. If you're not in it and you do want to get in it, if you're not already short copper and you want to get in it, but you want to wait till it starts to prove a little bit, prove a few things, wait for it to get below there. Wait for it to get that, kind of below this last area here where we chopped around. And if it gets below there, then maybe you could get in for a bit of a short. So those are our levels for today. If you have any questions, certainly feel free to let me know. Just a quick reminder, this evening, like I said, 9 o'clock on the Twitter page and YouTube Live. I've never done this live thing, so I'm going to give it a try, and bear with me if technology's not right. And we'll talk a little bit about some breakouts and what other things that we look for. So thanks so much, everybody. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon.